You are watching WCSD from the Calloway County School District.
How many campaign promises has President Trump been able to make happen? Welcome to this week's edition of Laker TV, where we'll take a look at Trump's plan for a wall along the Mexican border. Spotlight is also back to tell us more about a new video game on the market. And why are more high school girls choosing not to play sports? Sit tight, Lakers, and the show's about to begin.
Hey Lakers, I'm Emily McIntosh here with Kenna Friedrich.
Thanks for joining us. Man, I'm so glad we're just 1 week away from fall break.
Yeah, same here. Actually, even though it doesn't feel like it, today is the first day of fall.
The pumpkin spice lattes, the bonfires, the carving pumpkins.
Yeah, enough of your basic white girl talk. Let's get to the show.
In these past 8 months, our President Donald Trump has had a lot of stuff on his plate, such as aiding in many natural disasters in the past weeks and dealing with North Korea. But what else has he been working on exactly? We're giving it to reporter Jordan Lax for more.
Alright, thanks guys. Yes, Donald Trump has been in office for 8 months, and who could forget the 2016 election? Remember all the campaign promises he made? The question we're all asking is how many of those promises has he kept? And what about that wall? We'll turn it over to my co-producer Chesley for some answers.
Thanks, Jordan. Well, so far there's been a few promises he's kept that we can count on, such as canceling the Paris Climate Agreement and slashing federal regulations. But as most of you know, the promise to build the wall around the Mexico-United States border was his most memorable. What we know so far is that the Department of Homeland Security has started building multiple prototypes of the wall, and just over the past few days, Trump has asked for a whopping $1.6 billion for just 75 miles of the wall. We went around to ask you guys what you thought about this progress.
You know, I think we do have a need to do something in our country about some things that are going on. Whether the wall is the answer or not, I do not know. From everything I've watched, I watch a lot of news every day, and there's things that can be done, I think, without a wall. One thing about a wall is funding, for one thing. You know, how many billions of dollars that will cost. And I don't really know that our country's in a situation right now to spend those kind of funds on a wall.
I guess it sucks for the other people in Mexico, but I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's a great idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, if he wants to build a wall, I guess he can build a wall. I mean, as long as you let people come in legally, I mean, that's the American way, so.
Why do we need a wall?
I'm really not much of a fan of the wall. I really think that everybody should be allowed into America because we're a free country.
I think it's stupid that we're building a wall because Mexico is not paying for it. We are paying for it, and that's just like one more thing to take out of our paycheck. So it's kind of stupid, but there you go.
A wall would take a long time to build, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, you see, the plan for the wall isn't going to really change anything other than illegal immigration. There's still going to be immigration from Mexico. It's not like we're not going to have a border patrol and a gate that we let people through. It's just going to decrease how many illegal immigrants get in. It's not just because they commit crimes on our soil, but it's because they decrease our annual country's money gain, because they're not actually civilians, so they're not working in the workforce and they're not paying for taxes. So it's not just a finance problem and a safety problem, it's both.
Will this wall be built in the near future? Only time will tell. This is Chesley Wilson reporting for Laker TV.
Do you own a camera? Do you want to be a better photographer? Well, we had our reporter Jillian Hackathorn meet with Terry Little to get some insight on the Film Burners Club that meets at Murray State.
All levels of experience and knowledge in photography. So we start out with what we call a basics lesson. This is for people who would like to move up to advanced, that want to learn about the various aspects of how to get the most out of their camera. Then we have a short business meeting, and then we have an advanced lesson for people who want to become better photographers. Then we have, each month we set a theme. So we say, okay, this month we want you to take pictures of nature and give everybody the opportunity to show 4 or 5 of the photographs that they've taken during the month. And that's not only to show their good pictures, but to show their bad pictures. So people can say, you know, I took this picture and I don't know what I did wrong. Well, you have a bunch of people who can help you understand what you might have done differently to improve the picture. So is it an educational thing? We also work to benefit the community. We provide all of the photographs for the half marathon, as an example. We provide photographs of the parades, the Freedom Fest and the Christmas Parade. I just this weekend shot a bunch of pictures for Playful Cities celebration over at the park. So we do that, and we do that without charge. We do that to provide a way of paying back to the community. If you decide that you want to become a true member of the club, it costs $6.50 a year. Yeah, we are a really expensive club. We do not have the capability of providing equipment for people. You have to bring your own equipment, which you're going to want to do anyway. Because if I teach you how to use my camera and then you go and buy a different camera, you've got a whole different set of rules to learn. Yeah. So you want to work with, you know, it's like driving your own car versus borrowing someone else's.
The Laker football team returns to action tonight, and this time it's against a district opponent. The Madisonville North Hawkins Maroons come in with a 3-2 record, including wins over Murray and Marshall County. And last Friday, a 62-0 win against Hawkins Central. Kickoff is 7 o'clock tonight. Meanwhile, the Laker golf team prepares for the regional tournament that takes place Monday in Paducah. The regional girls golf tournament is Tuesday, and one school that will not be there is Calloway County. Just a few short years ago, the Laker girls golf team was a state powerhouse, but now we don't even have a girls playing golf. Today, Jesse Raines explores the question of what happened.
After being state runners-up in 2012 and 2013, and having 2012 state titleist Anna Hack on the team, we wondered, where did our girls golf team disappear to?
Girls golf in the region is just really, really down. Nearly 6 years ago, we had close to 100 girls play in the regional tournament, and last year we had 35 or 37, with only 4 teams out of 20-something being able to actually have a team, or schools to have a team.
High school girls not using sports scholarships isn't only happening with golf. In fact, by age 14, girls are dropping out of sports 2 times faster than boys. In 2015, more than 200 of 1,800 girls' golf scholarships went unused. And schools are providing $1.3 million for girls to play sports in high school compared to boys. We talked to our sports director, Mr. Butler, to get a better understanding of why girls aren't more involved in sports.
I just think that the numbers of participants in sports, roughly any sport throughout the nation, the number of participants are declining. There aren't as many kids growing up playing sports as there were 20, 30 years ago, which means that there were colleges who were looking for athletes, and the athletes were not available.
Despite interest being down, hopefully we can bring another prominent girls golf team to Calloway County. For Laker TV, I'm Jesse Raines.
Where Kaylee Colson is going to give you a preview of a new and interesting video game.
Good evening, Lakers. Kaylee Colson here reporting in Not So Live once again for another episode of Spotlight. Now, I don't know about any of you guys, but when I play a game, my OCD kicks in hard. I have to get every achievement, which is why this cute, whimsical-looking game has me cringing just thinking about how difficult that's going to be. Cuphead has 1930s-style hand-drawn animations and graphics, but don't be fooled by these cute Mickey Mouse-looking creatures. They're adorable, but deadly. Cuphead is a classic 2D-style platformer and shooter/run-and-gun game. Everything you see has been hand-drawn, which is true to the style it's going for. If you like a challenge, like video games, or just like suffering, then maybe Cuphead is the game for you. It's already set a Guinness World Record for the most bosses in a run-and-gun game, featuring over 30 of them. And the developers plan to release more DLC after the release with at least 10 to 15 bosses in each of the packs. Look at some of these guys though, they're like super creative. You can play with one player, as Cuphead, or with two players, which spawns in Mugman. There are two weapons you can utilize with your finger guns, a straight line of high damage pellets and a spray of low damage pellets. The gameplay is supposed to make you strategize and think about the best ways to go about beating a level. It has rich retro levels and focuses less on the plot and more on the gameplay. If you're interested in Cuphead, it hits Xbox One and Windows PC on September 29th of this year. It also breaks the now normal quota of $60 video games, coming in at a staggering $20. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time for Spotlight, Lakers.
So Kenna, are you a video gamer?
No. Although I actually have played Call of Duty a couple of times before.
Yeah, I don't know much about any of that stuff, but I do know we've got some fun segments coming up, including a pop quiz, man on the street, and the latest weird news from Chesley Nance.
Stick around, that's all coming up after this.
You're listening to the network. Now let's get back to the Harvey Steve Radio Show.
Welcome to the Harvey Steve Radio Show. We are live with John Pablo.
Hey there, Harvey Steve. My name is Juan Pablo. Today's times, they believe that eating out is too expensive and unsafe. I must say it is not, because over here at Pizza Zone, it is a safe place. Most people today hear the word zone and they think about danger zones. But over here at Pizza Zone, it is a happy zone. Sometimes in your life, you've probably seen a picture of a cat stuck in a tree. This represents the Pizza Company of America, because as Americans, we strive to hold on to that tree limb day by day, just like that cat. But don't let that picture fool you. It is a fact. That picture represents the evil and the dangers in the world. That picture is not American and is, in fact, an alien, like from outer space. It's like a danger zone. However, over here at Pizza Zone, we're a happy zone. And because of that, this is a cat-free facility and a tree-free zone. We are not a danger zone. We are a happy zone over here at Pizza Zone.
Okay. Well, nice talking to you, John Pablo. Well, that's all the time we have today. See you next time on the Harvey Steve Radio Show.
A happy zone. Happy.
You're listening to the network.
Hi, I'm Kenna Frederick. Welcome to Laker TV's Pop Quiz. Do you know the capital of Kentucky? What about the capital of California? And is Grant really buried in his tomb? Let's see how you guys did.
What is the capital of California?
Los Angeles or Sacramento. Take it back, Sacramento.
LA.
Sacramento. I want to say San Francisco. Hollywood.
All right, what is the capital of Kentucky?
Franklin. Wait, no, Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant, I guess.
Grant?
Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
I have no idea.
How many months have 28 days?
1. Well, that's February, except on leap years.
Oh, wait, they all do, they all do, they all do, they all do. Repeat, they all do.
1. 6. A lot, all of them.
Who's the Vice President of the United States?
It's a gentleman from Indiana, Mike Pence.
Oh, I know. Mike Pence?
Nope. That's me!
Anyways, this week on Weird News, we have stories on a now famous den with a chainsaw, a hardcore grandpa, and a paint job that doesn't quite go to plan. Some of you might have seen this picture of a nun with a chainsaw. I literally saved this picture to use for reactions when people text me a couple of days before I read this story. This nun was doing this after Hurricane Irma to help clean up the trees that had fallen, but didn't know how to work a chainsaw, so she YouTubed it, as all of us do. After the video of her was surfaced, people tried to help her because she still was not using the chainsaw in the safest way possible. Students were thanking her and saying that she was no wimp for doing this, that she will actually get out and work with the people. She knows that the video has gone worldwide and thinks it's kind of funny, but also hopes it will remind people to get out and help the victims of these hurricanes. You could help people all sorts of ways, like letting people copy your homework. Wait, actually, can I get my homework?
Oh yeah, sure, Chesley. You can have all your homework back.
Or you could push a suspect off of your roof and an hours-long police standoff, because that's exactly what this 83-year-old grandpa did. The suspect was jumping on a lot of rooftops in the neighborhood, and the 83-year-old was tired of this dude's crap and grabbed the neighbor's ladder and told the officers he was climbing onto the roof. That sucker's coming off, he told the police, and as soon as he was up there, he cornered the suspect and threw him off of his roof. That's amazing. I mean, imagine having a grandfather like that. Amazing, honestly. Most of you guys have Twitter. I'm only assuming, of course. Well, this next story was trending on Moments on there, where a woman made this tweet, and as you can see, this grown woman covered her entire face in bright pink glittery paint that was washable, but it was poster paint, and washable was probably meant for small drips here and there, not covering your entire face in it. Like, this woman had a job that she probably had to go to the next day and explained to everyone what she had done and why her entire face was pink. I mean, her and I have the same color pink, it's just that mine is in my hair and her color is in the first layer of her skin. Same difference. Am I right? That is all the weird news we have this week. For Laker TV, I'm Chesley Nance.
Well, I'm sorry, Lakers, but that's all that there is for this week's episode.
Till next time, I'm Emily McIntosh.
And I'm Kenneth Friedrich. And as always,
keep crushing it, Calloway.